Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. Sorry for being late. My computer was really bugging, but we're here, and Juan Gotti should be joining us, a little bit later in the stream. But yeah, again, guys, sorry for the delay. My computer was glitching out. I was here like at 6:25, and it just wouldn't load. But we're here now, and guys, I want to thank you guys so much for 5,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it as my computer is freezing up right now. But if you guys can hear me, I really appreciate the 5,000 subscribers. It means a ton to me. And again, I appreciate all of your guys' support. And, next is road to 6,000. Hopefully we can get there soon. But again, guys, thanks everyone for getting me to 5,000 subscribers. So let's say hi to some people. What's up, Brian? What's up, King Sean? What's up, Patrick? What's up, Ali? What's up, Lloyd? What's up? Let's see, Cliff. What's up, James? What's up, Reggie Reg? Jacob Nguyen. Let's see, Mo. What is up, everybody? Again, appreciate you guys for coming in. What's up, Redskins 17084? What's up, Mark OG? What's up, James? So again, thank you guys. And yeah, Juan will be here a little bit later in the stream, but it should be fun. So first, we'll just kind of talk about some of our needs, our team needs. What's up, Miggy? On offense, on defense, what are the remaining positions that we're still weak at? We'll talk about that for a bit. Some remaining free agents we'll talk that we could target. And then for a lot of the stream, we'll talk about, what position should we target at 19? What position should we target in the second, third, and fourth round? Some players I like, and we will do a mock draft or two, hopefully at the end, if we do have some time. So, I pretty much know the answer, but everyone in the, chat below or on the side or whatever, wherever it is, let me know what position you got. Give me the top 3 positions we need to upgrade in order. So put that in the chat. Someone already said we still need a linebacker, and I agree. But just put it in the chat. What is the order? Give me 3 positions and the order that we need to upgrades. So James said offensive needs, tight end, depth on the O line. Um, let's see, Lee the spicy manager. Are we officially over the QB talk, or do you still want to find? I mean, obviously, I still want to find one this season. I don't think it's going to happen early in the draft, maybe in the third round though. We'll see. Okay, so Ali said linebacker, free safety, QB. King Sean, QB, linebacker, free safety. Lloyd, linebacker, offensive tackle, free safety. O line, QB, linebacker, QB, linebacker, free safety. Left tackle, wide receiver, tight end, linebacker, quarterback, free safety. So here's what I'll say. I'm not going to put quarterback in just because I feel like for this, like that obviously is the thing we need most long term. No doubt. We need a franchise quarterback. But for this season, currently, we're not going to get an upgrade at the quarterback position. We might draft someone in the second or third round to develop for a year or two, but I don't think it's realistic that we get our franchise guy this year unless we can develop a guy in the second or third round. So if you take out the quarterback position, I would probably say linebacker is our biggest need. I think linebacker is a huge need. And then I honestly would probably, it's tough. I think tight end, backup tight end, we need tight end depth. So I think that is also a huge need. And then after that, you could say tackle, you could say safety, you could even go and say some more cornerback depth. What's up, G? Sorry, I know I'm gonna mispronounce it, but G Fowie. What's up, Jonah? And yeah, we could still use another receiver, but I don't think we're gonna take one early this year in the draft. But linebacker, in my opinion, is our biggest need. Obviously, quarterback is our biggest long-term need, but for this season, I think we're fine at the quarterback position. We're not going to really make any more moves unless it's a mid-round guy. What's up, Resent? What's up, Peyton the Great? And again, guys, appreciate everyone for coming in. And guys, I'm so happy I got 5,000 subscribers. thankful for you guys, and let's get to 6,000 soon. So if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe. Peyton said linebacker and free safety. I mean, I think free safety is definitely a need. It's kind of like left tackle for me. I think, I would be fine if we go into the season with Cornelius Lucas or with Sadiq Charles at left tackle. I would be fine with that. But I also would be fine if we upgraded that position. And then the same goes for free safety. I'm okay with, Jeremy Reeves or, DeShazier Everett, or even possibly, if they want to switch Cameron Curl to free safety. I would be fine if we go into the season with with one of those guys at free safety. But of course, if there's a guy you really like, you can, take him in the second, third, fourth round and have him compete for the starting job at safety. So yeah, someone said, "What's up, Pedro? Tight end is important need. Who's the backup we can trust?" I mean, we don't have that guy on the roster, but I would say in free agency, there's a couple. Darren Fells, there's some in the draft as well. So, I think we just need to get a solid veteran with some, potential. Yeah, Thad Moss is an option, but we need someone that's at least proven and can do something, because Jeremy Sprinkle ain't it. And I think we have or Juan, I think, was in the studio, but he's gonna be here soon. But we'll have him on. Yeah, he's right here. Uh what's up, Juan? Let me add him in here. Give me a second, guys. What's up, Juan? How you doing?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Pretty good. And you? So let's go. So basically, I mean, I just started. So we're going to talk about right now. Give me your top three needs for our team in terms of like for this season. So like I would probably take quarterback out of it because like there really aren't realistic options right now unless we go for like a mid-round guy, and that guy could be the QB of the future, but he won't be playing this year.
Um, Three that I have is obviously middle linebackers, and if you guys watch my video mock draft 1.0 and 2.0, we took linebackers in in the first round in both of them. So in my eyes, linebacker is the biggest need on this team outside of obviously quarterback, and then after that, honestly, I think it might be because we have Logan Thomas, who is great and was way better than what we ever expected. And if we get him another guy, it can be a deadly duo. And honestly, number three, I really don't think there's no other need, in my opinion. Honestly, left tackle could be that, but in my opinion, yet again, like you guys know me, I'm fine with the starting five that we have. And then on the back end, safety, it can be an issue for some of you guys, but once again, I'm fine if DeShazier Everett and Cameron Curl is the starter. So honestly, if I had to pick a number three, I think I might go left tackle. Just why not?
Yeah, and literally like a few minutes ago, I said the same thing. I think it would be a good idea to upgrade free safety, upgrade left tackle, but I'm totally fine going into this season with the group. And I probably would say left tackle would be better because, I mean, left tackle is probably arguably the second or third most important position in football behind quarterback and edge rusher. So if you have an elite left tackle, that is a very, very good thing to have. And, this is a good class. It's a top heavy class that we could get Christian Darrisaw, Elijah Vera Tucker in the first round. But also, we could address that linebacker need. But also, the good thing about this year's draft for linebacker, there's going to be some studs that normally would be first round guys in the second round. So let's say we go ahead and take Christian Darrisaw in the first. Someone like Jamin Davis is going to be there in the second. Jabril Cox, Chaz Surratt. So there's going to be options, I think, with the left tackle position, cornerback position, not cornerback, left tackle position, linebacker position. We're in a good spot. And Brian just put Juan's link in the chat. Make sure you
Appreciate that.
guys sub up Juan. I think Juan recently, Friday, was it Thursday or Friday, made a mock draft video. So
Yes.
make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. when the stream is done. So, kind of going into that, what, do you think we should take a quarterback in this year's draft, whether it be a first round guy or whether it be, a seventh round guy? What do you think?
Why not? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, we got Ryan Fitzpatrick, who you guys know I wasn't the biggest fan, and I'm still not the biggest fan, but it's like to the point where I just have to get over it and stop, stop being a punk about it, I guess you could say. Because at the end of the day, we're all Washington fans. Whether you're on my side of the fence and you didn't like the pick, or if you're on the rest of Washington who actually liked the pickup, we're all gonna be rooting for the guy to do good at the end of the day. So I had to realize, yes, I don't like the pickup, but I'm gonna have to root for Ryan Fitzpatrick. So why not go to level? So we have Ryan Fitzpatrick, but why not get a guy in this draft? So many late round talents that could possibly be something good. Kellen Mond, Davis Mills, just to name a few. Some people are saying Jamie Newman, honestly, and other people are saying Kyle Trask, who I'm not the biggest fan of. Then you have Sam Ellinger out there too. So there's obviously talent out there, but you just have to know which one is the best, I guess, in the later rounds, and you got to know who's for you, if it makes sense.
Yeah, and real quick, um, Kerry Williamson, thank you so much for the $2 donation. First four picks: linebacker, safety, and tight end. I mean, yeah, linebacker. Like we said, linebackers are our biggest need. We need to get someone to add to our linebacking core. Safety, we could also use another free safety, and tight end, definitely. Someone like Brevin Jordan, Hunter Long. There's some other guys. The tight end from Georgia. So yeah, tight end also we could use as well. Again, appreciate the donation. But yeah, quarterbacks. The thing with the quarterback position in the draft, it's a lottery. Like it's so rare to get a franchise, even a first round pick. It's not the best chance you're gonna get your franchise guy. A lot of these guys, you look at the 2019 draft class, Kyler Murray, he's been solid so far, but that's a number one pick. Number one pick, those guys are usually gonna ball out. Then you have Daniel Jones, subpar so far. His career is not over, definitely not over, but he has not lived up to the sixth pick. And so far he hasn't looked like a franchise guy. Then you look at Haskins, I don't even need to say a word about that. And then you look at Drew Lock, in the super early second round. So, they're always, a crapshoot, but you can still find guys in the later rounds, and you can go ahead. Let's say, take Davis Mills or Kellen Mond in the third or fourth round. You waste a third round pick or fourth round pick, and if they don't, pan out, okay, that's fine. You lost the fourth round pick, but if they end up being your franchise guy, you are set up for so long. And I just think you should be taking a quarterback, especially if you're a quarterback needy team. There's no reason you shouldn't at least take a quarterback in the late rounds. So I think this year, if we're going to take a quarterback, probably it's got to be in the first 3 to 4 rounds, because we already have Kyle Allen and Taylor Heineke, who, the coaching staff kind of likes. They do kind of like them. And, I don't think a seventh round pick is going to beat those guys out to make the roster. But if they invest a second in Kyle Trask, or like a third or a fourth on, Kellen Mond, and a fourth in Davis Mills, then they would be more invested in them, and I think they would probably make the roster. So I do think drafting a quarterback this year, especially if they like one, someone like, I personally like Davis Mills a lot. I think if he sits behind Fitzpatrick for a year or so, that could help him out a bunch, and you'll still have a chance to sign a quarterback or draft a quarterback next year. So yeah, there's some solid quarterback options this year outside of the first round. Oh wow, we got two. Um, so Tuba Steve 6, thank you so much for the $20 donation, man. I really appreciate it. Do you think with 100% ownership of the team, will Daniel Snyder have more say in the draft? So I think, again, appreciate the donation a ton, man. So Snyder, I mean, I think as long as he's, I don't think the percentage is really going to matter because, he was already the majority owner before. So really, once you get over a certain percentage, the minority owners, the guys that have, that aren't, they're still owning the team, but they don't have enough to be the majority owner like Daniel Snyder is. So they don't really have say in anything. But Daniel Snyder, I don't think the percentage, changes anything in terms of him making draft decisions. What will change that, if let's say we win 4 games this year, if we go, or let's say 5-12 this year because of the 17 games, then maybe Snyder start to get, a little bit impatient. And that's when I would get concerned. I don't think Snyder's going to have any say at all in this year's draft at all. I don't think, anything at all. But this year is super important because if we do have a subpar season, Snyder could start to get upset and start to meddle a little bit. So I think this season is very important. But I also believe in Ron Rivera, and I don't think Ron Rivera is going to cave in to Snyder. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't think just because he's owning the rest of the 40% of the team, it's not going to change anything. For the past years, you knew Dan Snyder wasn't the owner. You had never heard of these other owners, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna say I didn't know that it was multiple owners, but let's just be honest. We all thought Daniel Snyder owned 100% of the team. We didn't think. Well, I'm gonna speak for myself. I didn't think that he was just now becoming the 100% owner. It just felt like he was the 100% owner already. You get my point. So there's really nothing going to change, like Pedro said. It's going to be the same. Dan Snyder's going to be the only person talked about. We don't even know the rest of the owners' names. So, like, it's not going to change anything, man. Dan Snyder's still going to be the owner 100% now, confirmed. You know what I'm saying? 100% of Washington goes to him. And long as he continues to stay out the way, I really don't have no issues with him. What he does in his personal time, it's up to him, man. And I'm just a fan of what's on the field and the team, and the players, and the coaches. So like, it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, and really, once you're the majority owner, the guys that don't have enough to be the majority, they're really just there. They get the revenue, and that's pretty much it. They might have some say, and they might be able to pitch ideas, but they aren't going to be able to do anything because they're not the majority owners. But again, man, I appreciate the donation. Miggy, thank you so much for the $2 donation. We should draft a kicker also at some point. Hey, I mean, I wouldn't probably draft a kicker, but I wouldn't mind bringing in some competition for Dustin Hopkins and maybe signing an undrafted free agent, who you maybe thought was solid in college. You bring him in and have some competition with Dustin Hopkins because I think Hopkins is going to stay for this. I mean, obviously he's going to stay for this year, but if you can bring in someone at camp to compete with him, I think that would be a good idea. What do you think, Juan?
Man, what I honestly think, bring in Destroying, man. He deserves a shot. Dude is good, man. And honestly, I think he can beat out Dustin Hopkins. Am I tripping? The dude is kicking 62 yarders like it ain't nothing. Last time I checked, was it Detroit this past year or New York when Dustin Hopkins literally sold the bag?
Both,
I forget
both
what game it
games.
was. Both games. Okay, so both games. Not saying it doesn't happen, but worst case scenario, you bring in Destroying here on a not veteran minimum, but a rookie minimum, whatever he's going to be, for about $1 million, if that. Let him come in here and compete. Worst thing can happen is that he just doesn't make the team. But the best thing for Dustin Hopkins is that he has someone to threaten his job. I just feel like he got too comfortable and he realized that even if I miss a game winners or a few game winners, I'm still going to be the starting kicker. He got too cocky, in my opinion. But I feel like if you get somebody in here to scare his butt, he's going to actually be good next year. So I feel like at worst, you got to bring in some competition to at least scare Dustin Hopkins because right now he's too comfortable.
Yeah, I totally agree. Bring someone in, and this is a lot of special teams talk, but I was kind of upset about them letting go of Nick Sundberg. I mean, it's not a huge deal. I just think that Nick Sundberg, great guy. I mean, the best Washington football team guy in terms of the community with his thing that he had going on. And also, he was one of the best long snappers in the league. And apparently, John Kime said the reason that they let him go was because of injury issues. But he had a torn bicep this year, and he didn't miss a game. So I don't know. It's not a big deal, but
I,
um,
I, yeah, it's not a big deal, but I feel like it's something other than that because you can't say a long. I mean, long snappers get hurt, but like, come on, dude, a long snapper injury issues, bro. Like Nick Sundberg doesn't do anything to no one, bro. He's literally there to snap the ball. Like, why are you letting go of a long snapper? Now, don't be surprised if this year we have a couple or botched punts now with the snapping and Trust Way and Nick Sundberg were best friends, man. Like, come on, dude, you can't do that. And is he the long snapper in charge of the kicking too, field goal kicking?
yeah, I mean they're in charge of kicking,
So
punting. Yeah,
so now I'm a little scared. I was scared last year. We all were, but now I'm a little bit scared now that we don't have Nick Sundberg. And now the snap's gonna get botched high, low, whatever. Ah, man.
yeah, yeah. I hope he's gets another job because he's one of the best in the league and a good guy too. We'll talk about someone said talked about or mentioned in the chat Jeremiah Uso Korma. We'll talk about him in a bit. So Juan, any guys remaining in free agency that you would like us to sign? I mean, we're probably not going to sign any big names, but any guys you think we should sign, whether it be to a backup or to compete for a starting spot.
Honestly, no, not anymore. My last guy that I wanted us to sign was Sammy Watkins because I felt like with Sammy Watkins, and this was before we signed Adam Humphries. I felt like it was a low risk, high reward with Sammy Watkins because let's just be honest, if he can stay on the field, he's really good and really reliable for you. But that's the biggest problem. The guy is literally, I don't think he played a full season since his rookie year, if that. So that's the biggest thing with Sammy Watkins. But as we know, he signed with the Ravens. So I don't think there's no other guy out there for me.
There's a couple for me. I don't think they're gonna sign this guy, but I would love Darren Fells, who played with the Texans last year. I think the last 2 years he has like 15 total touchdowns, something like that. He also has had over 350 yards in both seasons. He's a good receiving guy and a really good red zone threat. So if you bring him in as a second tight end, I think that would be a good idea. Because we need at least one veteran going into the season to back up Logan Thomas because Thad Moss might be good, but I mean he was an undrafted free agent last year, missed all of last season. There's a very solid chance that he isn't the guy. And then even if you draft a guy, I want list anyone in the chat can list them out, but how many tight ends in their rookie year are dominant? I mean, it does, or not even dominant, just somewhat productive. I mean, it barely happens. I mean, TJ Hawkinson was like the 8th overall pick a couple years ago. His first year, he didn't light it up. This past year, he did. But if you want someone, we need someone that can be a capable backup this year. And I don't know if you're going to get a guy that can do that right away in the 3rd round. I like Brevin Jordan, but I don't know if he can be a starting tight end right away if Logan Thomas gets hurt. So I think someone like Darren Fells would be solid, or maybe some guy that played with in Carolina, a veteran. I'm fine with that as well, but we need to add another guy. And we have good cap situation, 17.9 mil before the Adam Humphries signings and I think Daryl Roberts signings. So, we have some cap space, but we're also going to, roll over some. What's up, Ready Red? How you doing? Said in Dak, I trust. We'll see. I mean, I think Dak's going to be fine. We'll see about that defense, though. Someone said Giants best D in football. I don't know about that. Okay. So I think we kind of went over, the positions of need. I think we talked about linebacker, tight end, and then tackle and safety are, both options as well. So far, how do you think we've done in free agency? Like, Yeah. How do you think we've done?
Honestly, I might give us. I think we deserve a high B or a A, or a low A, maybe a A. I haven't made my set grade yet, but honestly, they didn't make anything this free agency to blow your socks off, in my opinion. But also, they did enough to improve this roster. Curtis Samuel, we expected this to happen for about 5 months. Me, for a year. I expected this to happen since 2019 season, because if you guys know, like I said, if you were OGs in my channel, back when I first started, I made a video that saying that we should trade for him, or will we trade for him? This is back in 2019, and then now it happened. So I've been expecting this to happen. So nothing to really blow my socks off, because like I said, we expect this to happen. William Jackson, way better than Ronald Darby, but once again, doesn't blow my socks off. I mean, I was hyped about it because I know he's really good, but doesn't blow your socks off at first glance. Then after that, Adam Humphries, solid signing, but doesn't blow your socks off. Ryan Fitzpatrick, must I talk about that? You guys know I hated that signing. So nothing to really blow your socks off, but something to improve the team. So I haven't made my set grade, but I'm between B, a high B, and at the max a A. I don't know yet.
Yeah, I'll give it an A minus. Here's the thing. I think that and what's up, Ronnie? I think A minus is a solid grade, and I actually like the Ryan Fitzpatrick signing. I didn't love it, but and if there were way better options out there, then I would not have liked it. This year, though, just in terms after Stafford was gone and a couple other quarterbacks were traded, you had Fitzpatrick, who you knew at least can run our offense. He's going to run our offense, and he's not going to hold back Terry, Gibson. He's not going to hold back our weapons. He's not. He might turn the ball over sometimes and really get us upset. But I think he's going to be competent. You don't know that with Marcus Mariota or Mitch Trubisky. I didn't love the move, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because the last couple years were his best years of his career, and he played pretty good football the last couple years. And I think this season will have better weapons than he did in the last couple years. And then I like the Curtis Samuel signing. Give that like an A. William Jackson, when he plays behind this defensive line, it's gonna be scary. I love that signing. Fitzpatrick, or we already talked about Fitzpatrick. Adam Humphries, I think that's a good signing as well. Good slot receiver for us if he's healthy. So I think our free agency's been really good so far. Only reason why it's not an A, I think we didn't address the linebacker position, but that grade, I could change that grade if we, draft a linebacker in the first round, because then we didn't need to get a guy in free agency. And we got some people, or one person, I don't know how to, TSVI in the chat, talking trash about, how the Giants have dominated us. And that, hey, that's fine. I mean, that's fine. You can talk, because whenever I talk to, and we're not going to spend too much time on this, but whenever we talk to I talk to debate Giants fans on Twitter. The only thing they can say is that Daniel Jones has swept us. And what I'll say right back is, what's your record against every other team? What's Daniel Jones's record against every other team? Because if I remember correctly, you guys lost the division this year. And you guys might say, "Oh, it's the worst division ever." Well, isn't it pretty embarrassing to lose the worst division ever? And then the year before with Daniel Jones, you guys still ended up picking fourth overall. So, that's all I'm gonna say. I wouldn't. I think you guys are gonna play solid next year, but I mean, Daniel Jones hasn't done anything yet in this league. If he takes a big step, then I think you guys are going to be headed in the right direction. But if he doesn't, it's going to set you back, because at least with Haskins, we got out of him after a 1 year and a half. We didn't have to delay it. If Jones ends up having another bad year, that's a full another year that you guys just wasted. But we'll see. I think the division's going to be competitive this year. What's your thought on
Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah. So I don't TSVI, man. So I mean, congratulations. You're 4-0 on a Washington football team. I mean, last
Against
year you beat
Haskins,
us
keep in
twice
mind.
against Haskins, 3-13. What is there to beat? I mean, any team literally was dogging us 2019. Defense was terrible. Offense was even worse. What is there to celebrate about? Last year, correct me if I'm wrong, we literally shot ourselves in the foot both games. One at FedEx Field. Antonio Gibson turns over the ball early after running the ball. I believe it was a run play into you guys' territory. We killed ourselves. I'm not mad. Congratulations to have your win. But when you turn over the ball 5 times, you're not going to win the game. Then the game at you guys' stadium in the Meadowlands, Ron Rivera sold that game away. Went for 2. Could have easily went to overtime. So it's not like you guys were just blowing us out. Like this year, I mean, I guess, last year, who cares? Who cares about 2019? That really doesn't matter. But anyways, bro, like I said, 4-0, congratulations. But you lost the division because Philly laid down. Hold on, though. Hold on. This is what I'm about to get them at, Pedro. If you guys would have just took care of your work against Arizona, you guys would have won the division because you beat Dallas, right? And you swept us. So all you had to do was beat Arizona. You couldn't beat Arizona. So, I mean, you can't really blame Philly for laying down. They don't want to see you guys win. So, if anything, you are the reason why y'all lost the division. Congratulations. Have your 4 little wins against us while we're winning a division from last year, and we're probably going to continue to win divisions.
And
Yes, I do think we're better than you guys. My bad. But we have the best defense in the NFC behind the Rams. I feel like we have the 3rd or 2nd best defense behind the Los Angeles Rams. So, like I said, man, congratulations on your 4 little wins. But who's the reigning division champions? I believe it's the Washington football team, right, Pedro?
yeah,
Okay.
I think it's gonna be fun to watch. I think, the Giants in Washington, and I think they're the best, up and coming teams in the NFC East. The Cowboys have probably, they have a lot of talent, but we'll see how they put it together. The Cowboys, I mean, in a couple years, they're not going to have really any money at all once that Dak contract kicks in. And one thing, though, I'll say is one of those wins that Daniel Jones got, that got us Mr. Chase Young. So,
Okay.
I mean, so I would actually not brag about that win because that win got got us Chase Young and Andrew Thomas for you guys who he hasn't been terrible, but
He's
how
been
much
running
rather
away from Chase Young. My
yeah,
fault. I
how
had to
much rather
cut
have
you off.
Chase Young. And Miggy said should bring Quan Alexander. Give I'm fine with. I think we should bring in one more veteran, get a cheap deal, not much guarantees, and if he makes the roster, that would be good. Low risk, possibly high reward signing. I think that would be a good signing at the linebacker position. And Tubba Steve again with a $20 donation, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Pedro Wangati, for all the videos and updates. I don't do research anymore. I just come to you guys, man. I really appreciate that, and that means a lot. I really appreciate all you guys for, watching our videos and interacting with us. It's really fun, and man, I appreciate that donation. And guys, thank you guys so much for the 5,000 subscribers. Finally hit
Yes, sir.
that. So appreciate you guys for coming in. Or not, we're not done with the stream again. Make sure to sub to Juan so we can get him to 5K soon as well.
Appreciate
Brian,
that.
if you can put his link in the or not in the description, in the chat. Again, man, appreciate that donation. So let's transition a little bit into the draft. What do you got? What position now that free agency for the most part is over because there's really no linebacker that we sign that is going to be like, okay, linebacker is like, we don't need to upgrade linebacker. Like, there's not that guy in free agency. So, and probably same thing with free safety. So, what position do you want to draft at 19?
Yeah, before I get into that, Tuba Steve, and once again, appreciate all the support, man. It means a lot for watching our videos, man. And we do this so you don't have to do the research. So continue to support, man, both of us, and I really do appreciate it. And then one more thing, shout out to Peyton the Great. He's in this comment section roasting the guy that we were just talking about. You paid Galladay $19 million, who's only going to play 6 games max. Dude is good and all, but come on, man. Dude literally is a fly touches him, he's out for 6 games. So have fun with $19 million a year for a guy that's injury prone and 28. So what he's gonna be, what, 31, 32? Was it 3 or 4 year deal? Can't remember, but late early 30s by the time he's out of that contract. So have fun paying him $19 million a year while we have Terry, Curtis Samuel, all on cheap deals, man. So my bad, got on a little tangent, but once again, you know who I want to draft at 19, man. I want a linebacker, whether that's Zayvon Collins, whether that's a lot of people think Nick Bolton is going to go 19 now, whether that's Jeremiah Wusu-Koroma, whoever it is. I have faith in Ron and the guys picking the right linebacker. I just want me a linebacker at 19. I don't care who it is, long as somebody that can possibly be something of a generational talent. Because if we get that Mike, oh man, it's going to be scary for the rest of the NFL.
Yeah, I think linebacker big need as well. I think Jeremiah Wusu-Koroma would be good. Nick Bolton or Zayvon Collins, maybe if we trade back a bit in the 20s, I would be fine with them. And of course, if Micah Parsons somehow falls, if he somehow falls to 19, I would I would pounce on that, especially
Dude.
especially if his, off the field issues are good. Yeah, Micah Parsons is a stud, and
Mhm.
linebacker. It's not necessarily the best position to draft in the first round. So I'd probably rather, if there's an elite tackle, if Christian Darrisaw's there, if Darrisaw
Mhm.
and Parsons are there, I definitely want Parsons. But if it's like Darrisaw versus Zayvon Collins or Bolner, maybe even Owusu-Koramoah, just because of his fit here, I would probably rather get Darrisaw and go with a guy that's normally like, there's like 2 or 3 linebackers this year that are first round linebackers that are gonna end up going in the second. So either position is fine for me. Did you want to say something real quick?
Yeah, man. Dude, 4-3 as a linebacker, man. Like, that is just absurd. And then on top of that, a comment came to my video about not liking the pick I made of Cormo in the first round. He said he's too small. Guys, you got to understand, the NFL, as much as it's changing for the quarterback, it's changing on the opposite side of the ball too. We're going away from the big linebackers, the Ray Lewises, the Brian Urlachers. It's not the early 2000s anymore, man. You see, you're starting to get more guys like Isaiah Simmons, Kaliki Hudson, who's a late round pick, who can be a stud for us if he continues to work and get better and gets the chance, etc., etc. So it's nothing wrong about having a small linebacker. You need those nowadays so you can cover the explosive tight ends like a George Kittle or Travis Waller. So for people that still like big linebackers, nothing wrong with that, but you just won't be able to cover tight ends as much. And what I believe, Michael Parsons is 264 and ran a 4.3. Are you kidding me? And a lot of people are talking about the off the field issues. There's nothing going on off the field, man. I just feel like every year it's always something about someone having some character issues. What was it? In 2019 or 18, it was Darius, guys who had some off the field issues, which came out to be true. I mean, with him, that was probably a bad example, but you know what I'm saying? You get my point. It's always something, so you can't really take that into consideration. I mean, unless it comes out to be true, like Darius, guys, but I highly doubt it, man. Dude's a stud. And I also want to say this one more thing. He says, "Who's your quarterback? You have 0 QBs." I mean, we have Taylor Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who, once again, Taylor Heineke made his name known against the probably second best defense. I'll give us number 3. The second best defense in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I feel like if Daniel Jones was in that situation, he would have had 5 fumbles, probably 2 picks. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just, I feel like we have Taylor Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Kyle Allen, you asked. So I thought I'd just give it to you,
Yeah. So let me see. What's up, Brandon? And hey, Steven, I kind of agree. He said you guys are crazy talking Parsons. There's no way dropping to 19. And I agree. 19 is pretty unrealistic. And the thing with that is like if he's there at 19, it's because the off the field issues. And I think Ron is not gonna draft someone with off the field issues at 19. Keep in mind, in 2017, I believe when we drafted Darius Geis, Ron Rivera did not have him on his draft board. He took him off. So Parsons, if he's good, like with no off the field issues, I know it's like not necessarily the best thing to do, but I really, really wouldn't like be upset if we traded up like to like 15 or something if we thought he would be there. And this year, like if you draft a defensive player this year, you're gonna be getting really good value because you got to think about this. First, second, third, and fourth pick are more likely than not all going to be quarterbacks because obviously first three picks, 100% are going to be quarterbacks. Fourth pick with the Falcons, they might take a quarterback, and if they don't take a quarterback, they're going to probably trade back. Okay, they're going to probably trade back, and someone is going to get there. So that's four quarterbacks with the first four picks. Then you're gonna go five. That's the Bengals. That's gonna be an offensive player. Six, that's the Dolphins. That's gonna be an offensive player, probably a receiver. And then seven is the Lions. That's gonna be a receiver. And then after that's the Panthers. They might trade up. If they don't, it's probably gonna be an offensive player. Probably gonna be someone like Mac Jones. So they're the first 8 picks, and they're all offensive players. Ninth pick is the Broncos. I don't know if they're going to take. Probably not a cornerback because they signed a bunch of cornerbacks this offseason. But you guys see what I'm saying. So Giants, who knows, with after they got Galladay, they might go offensive line. They might go D line. So, but there's going to be some really good guys at 19 that normally would be like ninth overall or so. And one thing I'll talk about with Jeremiah Uso-Koromoa, I absolutely love Jeremiah Uso-Koromoa. I think he's an absolute stud. He's he's a little undersized, but he can put on 10 pounds. He can put on whatever it is. He can get to like 225, whatever, add whatever he needs to add. That's easy to do. The only thing I have an issue with Jeremiah Uso-Koromoa is Landon Collins, strong safety. Some people even want him to play linebacker, okay? Cameron Curl, strong safety as well. Jeremiah Uso-Koromoa is a linebacker slash strong safety. So you would kind of have three players that are relatively very similar players. Cameron Curl is like the one guy out of those three that no doubt is just he's a safety. He's either a free safety or a strong safety, probably strong safety. And then you got Landon Collins, who's a safety, but he's a box safety. He can play a little bit of linebacker too. He's not going to, but he can as well. And then you got Jeremiah Koromoa, who is going to be, that box linebacker. He's going to be in the box, obviously, but he also could play strong safety. I think he's a great player, so I still probably would take him at 19, but it would I would highly consider trading if you draft Jeremiah Koromoa, highly consider trading Landon Collins or asking him to take a pay cut or something. That's just me.
Yeah, like I've been saying all this time, it just sucks because I wanted to trade Landon Collins or at least try to get out of his contract, which would have been terrible. But this was last year because the dude just hasn't lived up to that $85 million. And honestly, I don't know which one was worse, Norman's or Landon's. I think I'm gonna go with Norman just because we expected a lot more out of him. But also, I obviously see why people will go with Landon because it's more money. And honestly, with Landon Collins, I would have wanted to trade him, but now we can't trade him. no one's going to want to take on that contract, one, and no one's going to want a guy that's coming off of a torn Achilles. You know what I'm saying? So we're screwed, man. So we're stuck with him, whether we like it or not. He's not going to play linebacker. I don't know why people keep saying we can move him to linebacker or we should move him to linebacker. I wouldn't be mad at it, but it's not going to happen.
He
So I
doesn't
don't.
want to do it. He doesn't want to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, and I don't understand, like, why, dude? You're not getting it done on the back end. So you try something new. You never know what could be happening for you, man. And yeah, but I don't like Collins, man. There's nothing wrong with the guy. He's a great person, but he just hasn't lived up to what we thought he was going to be. And then this one thing I'll say about Giants fans. I hate Giants fans. I hate Cowboys fans. I hate Eagles fans. And it's all fun and games. But one thing they did say that I was being oblivious about and
Me
being
too.
blind to, they did say that Landon Collins was terrible. I didn't know they were going to be this terrible, but hey, Giants fans did warn us, guys, so can't
Like,
hate
okay,
about that.
yeah, Landon Collins, it's like he's an okay player. Like right now, like this past season and the year before, he was still like an average player. Like he was still solid, but I mean, he was nowhere near paying $15 million a year for a safety. Like that's the thing. That's the thing that where it sucks. And Norman, the thing with Norman, he was still like his first couple years he actually was really good for us. Like he didn't get the super high pick numbers, but he was still a really good cornerback. But I feel like every year he started regressing a little bit until that final year where it was just man that was awful. So we can get out of off the books. Really, we will save money this year if we cut him after June 1st, but it doesn't really make too much sense. But next year, unless he goes back to what he was in his first couple years of with the Giants, I'm getting rid of him. And even if he does start balling out, then I would trade him. Maybe get like a third round pick or something. If he starts balling out. Someone said I knew this is a Jets fan. New York Jets FL. He said, you guys trading up for QB? More than likely not, because here's the thing. You got, like I said earlier, first pick is going to be Trevor Lawrence. Second pick, almost undoubtedly, is going to be Zach Wilson with likely the Jets. I mean, and then number 3, that's going to be a quarterback. Really, any of the 3 quarterbacks. Really just depends on the scheme. And then after that, the 4th pick might be a quarterback. So I don't think we're trading up from 19 to 4. Like, we're not going to trade up from 19 to 4, and we're not going to. And then who else is going to be there? Maybe Mac Jones at like 8, but is it really worth it? So, I mean, I know there's people clamoring for us to trade up, and I get it. Like, Rico really wants us to trade up, and I totally get it. But did you guys see what the 49ers had to give up to go from 12 to 3? That's 9 spots. 9 spots, and they had to give up 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick, and that's to get the 3rd best quarterback in this class. If we wanted to trade up to go get the 3rd best quarterback, we would have to give up 4 first-rounders. 4. And you can't even do that in the NFL. You can only do 3 at a time. So that is just I don't think it's just not worth it. I mean, I know people want to do it, but you really want to trade up because especially now, you want to trade up to number 4 to get the 4th best quarterback, give up 3 first-round picks. There's no way I'm doing that. There is no way I'm doing that. That's my take, especially after seeing what the 49ers had to give up. They had to give up 3 first and a third to move up 9 spots. We have to move up 15 spots to get the 4th best quarterback.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, bro. We'll be in debt for 15 years trying to move up for the 3rd best quarterback. And who's that going to be? Justin Fields, I believe. Because, like you said, Lawrence number 1. Then you have Zach Wilson, who's I believe is going to be phenomenal with the Jets, man. And then after that, you have between Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Trey
Trey
Lance.
Lance,
It's
Mac
not worth
Jones.
it. It's not worth it at all, man. I agree totally with the man on this one, bro. It's not worth it at all. Like I said, I understand Rico wants us to trade up, and in his video, I believe he took Trey Lance at, I believe, was a total reach. But my boy Rico, that's what he wants, and I know he loves Trey Lance. But in my opinion, I felt like in that video it was a reach. Not saying Trey Lance is not good, but I just I don't. You like you said, man. I'm not trying to give up 1,000 picks just to move up to 4 to get the third best quarterback, man. It's not worth it. Like you said, look what the 49ers had to give up. You know what I'm saying? Dolphins, didn't they move up to 6? What? I didn't see what they had to give
They
up.
moved from 3 to 12 to 6.
Yeah, I don't understand what that was. But yeah, man. So it's not worth it, dude. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and especially after just playing this out in my head, or not in my head, but like right now on the stream, like I mean, it was almost impossible for us to be able to trade up. I mean, there's a lot of quarterback needy teams. First of all, there's a lot of quarterback needy teams. Second of all, we're at 19. So, I mean, even if we would have, let's say us and the Giants switched places, we ended up going 7-9. Let's say they won 7 games at the end of the year. They would have won the division. We would have been at the 12th overall pick where the 49ers were. And we would have to give up 3 first-round picks plus a third just to get up to 3. And I just don't, now thinking about it, it was almost never possible for us to trade up into the top 5. Like, never. And you have to think when you're trading to go to number 4, because that's still possible for us. It's still technically possible. You're going to trade up to give, let's say, the 49ers had to give up 3 firsts and a third to move up 9 spots. We're moving up 15. We're going to have to give up 3 firsts, let's say a second, and a player or something like that. Like, that's what it would take. And you're doing that for the 4th best quarterback who could be, just, I don't know. It's not worth it for me. And real quick, Miggy, again, appreciate the $2 donation. Said just build more this year, and next year we do the. Yeah, I think next year, and one thing you could do this year is, let's say we trade back to like 25 or something, get like a future second, or we get a first. We're switching 19 to 25. We would get 25, maybe like a future second and something else, so you could prepare yourself to possibly move up next year to get a QB. And I know people are saying, "Oh, next year is going to be a weak quarterback class," and it's definitely probably going to be worse than this class. But there's always guys, Mac Jones and Joe Burrow, that end up exceeding expectations. That's just something to keep in mind. Yeah, next year we're probably going to be drafting in that range, 10 to 20, depending on what we do. Sorry, let me just, and yeah, so we're going to quickly do a mock draft real quick. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and start this mock draft. So right now we have Jeremiah Wuso Koromoa at this spot. Yeah, sorry.
I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. I was just about to remove him, but
Yeah. If he messages again, whoever's a mod, just remove him again. But let's
oh,
go ahead and start.
before we before we start the mock, I always had a question. So, in 2019, how we got Haskins, then we traded back in the first round to get Tez. What I honestly would not be mad about doing something like that again this year. Probably trade away our second round pick to probably move back to 26. But then at the same time, we don't have as much needs as we did back in 2019. So if we did that, probably get a linebacker and then maybe a receiver, maybe. I don't know, because we just got a ton of receivers. But I was just thinking about, should we trade? Could we trade back in the first round, and what would we need to get?
I mean, yeah, we have 2 third-round picks this year, so I think we could. If I would do it if a player's there that you really, really like, but I think you you're probably gonna have to give up something else. So I mean, it really just depends because you don't know how it's gonna play out really until the draft's there. Like we didn't think Montez Sweat was gonna be there, but if someone like that's there, or not obviously a DN, but I would definitely do that. Christian Sortel always, in this stream and my comments, everyone else's, this Washington football team community always support and appreciate the donation. Says the Giants are butt cheeks. Hey, yeah, I mean they can talk all they want about 4-0, but we won the division last year. Hey, we'll see. I think it should be fun. We'll see how it plays out this year. I don't know what I'm gonna do if we get swept by Daniel Jones this year. If we get swept by Daniel Jones this year, I don't know what I'm gonna do to my like. That is just gonna be awful. I mean, that's just yeah. We better not get swept this year. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, shout out to Christian, man. Always supporting, man. But like I said, man, if we can't get swept by Daniel fumbles again, man, dude's not that good.
Yeah. So so we're at this mock draft. We'll do this and then we will call it a day after that. We'll answer some questions. But um I think this one's pretty obvious. Jeremiah Whistle Cormo is on the board. Really not any great tackles or anything. I think Darisaw is not here. Let's see what tackles are here. Yeah, Cosme is the best tackle. I think they kind of have too many tackles going so far with Darisaw and Cosme, or Darisaw and Taven Jenkins off the board. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take Jeremiah Whistle-Koromoa. I think that's pretty obvious pick right there. Let's see in the chat.
Ooh, Jets took
Yeah,
ETN.
yeah. Me said we swept ourselves, to be honest. And yeah, I agree. Man, this is the
Definitely.
thing I don't like about the Draft Network. They always got these ads on here. Okay, whatever. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, we did kind of sweep ourselves. I mean, last year we got that first game where Kyle Allen had that fumble and like we were about to score. We were about to I don't know if we were tied, I think. And he fumbled, they get a touchdown and they win the game. And also Ron Rivera goes for 2, which I didn't agree with at all. 2. And the next game we have 5 turnovers and lose by 3 because to the Giants, and Alex Smith had the chance to win the game, but he had like 2 picks. That really upset me. So yeah, we did kind of sweep ourselves, and who cares though? We won the division, and we lowered their draft order. I guess we lowered their draft order and still ended up winning the division. So, okay, here in the second round, what do we have? Baron Brownrigg, Ohio State, a linebacker, but we already took a linebacker, but he's an interesting option. Dylan Radnews from North Dakota State, he would be a solid tackle, or Liam Eichenberg. I know I always mispronounce him, but I know he had a pretty good Senior Bowl. What do you guys think? I saw someone already say to get the Notre Dame tackle. Let's see. Just go ahead and put that in the chat. Juan, what would you do here? What position, what player?
Honestly, go quarterback here, in my opinion, or at least look at see who is available. I think, me personally, I would go quarterback, and as you see, Kellen Mond is the best one available. And you can go with Davis Mills if you want to, but the only reason why, like, a lot of people were saying go Jamie Newman, I just don't know that much about Jamie Newman. All I know is that he opted out this past year, and he really could have used this past year. And in the year before that, he transferred to Wake Forest, and he wasn't that good at Wake Forest, and that I thought I knew it, or that I researched up, rather, my fault. So I really don't know that much about Jamie Newman, but if you guys like the quarterbacks here, and maybe they'll be here in the third round if we don't quarterback now, but I would probably go quarterback in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't. It's gonna be interesting. I don't really like Jamie Newman. I didn't watch much of his tape, but I did watch that full Senior Bowl game, and it was off. It was so bad. Like it was just so bad. I do agree with quarterback in the mid round, but I think either Mond or I think Mond's going to be there in the third, I think. And then Davis Mills, I think, is going to be in that, late third, early fourth. So I think quarterback we go next round.
Okay.
And we're going to be able to. This draft site has them super low, both of them super low. So a lot of people are saying Eichenberg. So go ahead and take him. Good tackle. Second round, you're able to get, a guy that can be your franchise tackle. That's a good pickup right there. See, this is why I personally would maybe think about not taking a linebacker in the first, just because you guys saw so many guys. I mean, I don't think Jabril Cox is going to be here at 74, but he's there. Jamin Davis was there at in that second or at our second round pick and others as well. So let's see what we do here. This is going to be interesting. Jabril Cox is available here. I don't think he's going to be here in the actual draft. What would you go here?
Go quarterback right quick. I just want to see who's here.
I think it's the same as the last.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's there. So, honestly, tight end. Go tight end right quick. Just want to see who's there.
Yeah, I don't think Brevin Jordan's here, but I think Tremble is there, and I probably Hunter Long as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tremble's there, and my guy Kenny Yabu, who I just got put on not yesterday, but a couple weeks ago. Dude is phenomenal. He's like a dog in the pass catching game. He lacks blocking ability, but you can't really have. It's rare that you have players that at the tight end position that's good at both nowadays. Yeah, you have George Kittle, but typically you're either good at pass catching, and you're not that good at run blocking, or either you're good at run blocking and not catching the ball, hence Jeremy Sprinkle. So I would probably honestly go tight end here, Tommy Tremble or Yabu from Ole Miss.
Yeah, and if there's a receiver I really like, I would consider it as well. We'll go ahead and take tight end because there's a lot of good receivers available. And yeah, this receiving core is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out this year. I mean, we'll see, how Kelvin Harmon bounces back, how AGG bounce back. I mean, it's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, we're up already. So let's go. Let's see what best player available is. Nico Collins, all the best player available are receivers. So, I mean, we could take a receiver. Let's see who's available. Nico Collins, Dwayne Eskridge. I know Amon St. Brown. I think, yeah, I would like him. I think he's more like of an outside guy. What do you think, Juan?
Yeah, I like Amon St. Brown, and I'm actually surprised that he's still here. I would actually. Is this what our second, third round pick, right?
Yeah.
Hey, dude. Yeah, I was looking at a mock draft, and they had him going, fall into the second round and not passing the second round, I should say. So I'm surprised that he's here, honestly. I wouldn't personally take him because I feel like now we just have so many wide receivers. But for the heck of it, dude, honestly, I would not mind taking him now. But I would go tight end here if it was personally like me doing the mock draft.
Yeah, I mean, I think let's see what our picks have been so far. We took Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Liam Eichenberg, and then Tommy Tremble.
We already took tight end?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I didn't know. I didn't think I forgot. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't know we took a tight end in previous.
Okay, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see. What quarterbacks are available? Ooh, okay, this is tough. I want to take a quarterback, but if Davis Mills, is he gonna be there? Okay, everyone in the chat, write quarterback or receiver right now in the chat, and I'll look at safety too, but put that in the chat right now. Quarterback or receiver? Let's see any good safeties available. The safety right now, Andre Cisco would be solid, but we're picking at 82, and the best player available is the 111th ranked player, or 105th ranked player actually. So I think let's see what everyone in the chat is saying. So King Sean, receiver. Ali, receiver, 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 receiver. Everyone's saying receiver. Juan wants a QB, and it's tough for me. Like if I know Davis Mills isn't gonna be there in the fourth, then I'm taking Davis Mills. But if he, that's tough. We'll go ahead. We'll listen to the chat. We'll listen to the
Here,
chat. We'll
here,
take
but before we, oh, never mind. I was gonna say before we take the receiver, either you go with the receiver that's already and we already have a crowded position there, or either you get Davis Mills. But hey, we're rolling the dice. We're hoping that he's gonna be here in the fourth round. But we have now our seventh receiver on the roster, I believe, or eighth.
Yeah.
Dude, that it's just crazy to think. Just a year ago, we were crying for receivers. Like it was bad. Like we didn't have no receivers, and we still don't have the best receiving room. But now it's like it's overcrowded.
Let's see. Moment of truth.
Oh, never mind. Oh, there you go.
Okay, he's there.
Okay,
He's
so
there. He's there.
you want to roll the dice one more time to see if he's gonna
Nah,
be
I'm taking
there? Who's Brady
fourth
White? Is he
down.
good?
Who?
Brady White. You know anything about him?
Nah. But yeah. Oh yeah. Beast Mode 2.0 said, I remember you mock drafting last year. Yeah, time flies. That was a year ago when I started streaming and we were doing mock drafts. It's crazy. It's been a year already, but yeah, I think that was a solid mock draft. We addressed a bunch of needs. So we'll answer some questions in the chat, and we'll probably call it a day in a couple minutes. Appreciate all you guys for coming in here.
Appreciate
Um,
that.
yeah, go
He
ahead.
was saying that I was just saying appreciate that to Ali. He was telling me that the guy I forgot his name, believe from Memphis quarterback, is he good? And he said no.
Brady White.
Oh yeah. Only thing about this draft that I would do that I hope we do in real life, we gotta draft the edge, man, and later in the later rounds because yeah, we have Chase and Montez, but the depth outside of that is terrible. Who we have backing them up with Ryan Kerrigan in the air? All we have is James Smith Williams. We need some edge rushing depth, man. I'm telling you
Yeah.
because as what?
No, go ahead.
No, I was done. I was just about to say that I went you clearly see when Chase Young went down in the Browns game. Who else was it there to step up? RK, yeah, RK was there, but slowing down Kerrigan, man. Here's the thing. My bad for going on a
There
rant
you go.
again, but my thing with Kerrigan is I love Kerrigan, man. He's the Washington football team / Redskins, face for the past year, the most loyal player that of my lifetime. And honestly, I would love to have him back, but I want someone that's going to be effective. Ryan Kerrigan, man, you clearly seen that he lost the step, so I would draft the edge. And like I said, you seen when Chase Young went down, the threat of the edge pressure wise, it kind of it went down. So I want us to get an edge as you see the Ryan Kerrigan jersey, man. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind having him back, but we clearly see RK has lost a step.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we bring him back. I think if we can get him for cheap, I would do it. Some good, depth, and I would still. I agree with you. Maybe in that fifth, seventh round range, you can get an edge rusher. I like James Smith Williams to come off the edge, but we need someone else. So I agree. If we can't bring back my man Ryan Kerrigan, then we can go ahead and take a guy in that fourth, seventh round range. Someone else said, do I want Trey Boston? I mean, I would be all right with it. I wouldn't, it's like a meh move. Like I don't, hate it. I wouldn't love it. I saw, let's see, King Sean had a question. Okay. And then I think we'll call it a day after this one. What wide receiver what wide receivers would you take in that second round out of these five receivers? Elijah Moore, Terrence Marshall, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rondell Moore, Nico Collins. So I'll answer first. Not Elijah. I love Elijah Moore, but I think we have enough slots right now because Adam Humphries is strictly a slot guy. Like all he does is slot. That's all he does. Curtis Samuel is better in the slot than he's on the outside. He can do a lot of things, but I just think that at this point, I don't know about drafting a guy in the slot this year. Like I don't. I love some of these slot guys. So I would probably say, I mean, there's some guys here that can play outside and inside, but I would say Terrence Marshall. How about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I'll go Terrence Marshall because yeah, like I said, we have too many slides. And the most realistic guy that we got in late rounds in a couple mock drafts I was looking at, and he's really solid. Yeah, he played on LSU, I believe, this past year. They were terrible, but he was the only, not the only, but he was one of the lone bright stars from this past year, I believe.
Yeah, and like Ali said, the LSU receivers always ball out, and that is true. I mean, Odell, Jarvis Landry, you got Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, obviously Terrence Marshall. So they got a good receiving program there, and it's going to translate there to the NFL. So I think we're going to wrap it up here again, guys. Appreciate all of you guys for coming in. Make sure you guys sub up to Juan Gotti, great Washington football team YouTuber. Appreciate you guys coming in here, and peace, guys.
Hey, peace.